I aimed high. I started with Robert Downey Jr.'s agent and Gary Oldman's agent.
Wow.
From my office in Kentucky.
My name is Adam Gaynor, and after selling 25 million records as a former original member of the band Matchbox 20, I decided to come to Hollywood and open an entertainment company called Creationville. I've shot reality TV sizzles, animation shorts, and even manufactured plush toys overseas. But when it was time to launch the company, I needed help. So I called in a few friends to help us all navigate Hollywood. This is Creationville. So I was in Spain, and I had a little translation book. This is pre-Google Translator. So I learned how to say, "There is a dead clown in my shower," in Spanish. And my whole band was standing on the side, watching me go up to the person and holding a book out and going in Spanish, like El Muerto, El Piazo, and El Baño, something I know, sorry, Spanish people.
That's pretty
but something
good.
about there is a dead clown, and the people are looking at me like, what the hell's going on? And I'm like, no, there is a dead clown in my shower. And they just didn't know. And I just said, thank you. And I left. Best story ever.
It's good.
I don't think you like that story.
I like it.
All right. So we're going to be doing synchronization in 3, 2, 1. This is every week. This is literally every week.
This is why I wanted to use a drumstick.
Randy, we're on air. First of all, welcome to the show. Randy and I are fighting as the beginning of each show happens. I think we've done, I don't want to say how many shows we've done because we're mixing this whole thing up, but I would say 82% of the time, Randy must hit the first applause button.
I'm there for you 75% of the time. Every time.
So 82, 75, and then I don't know what that leaves, but we're going to get that. I'm going to, next week, I bet you I can hit. Yeah, thank you. We're back.
I guess I hit it too hard. The problem.
You're a lot stronger than you look.
I know. I know.
No, you're not as strong as.
Smell isn't everything.
Oh my God, that's a terrible thing.
That's like grade 1.
I'm so excited today. First of all, are we on bank 2?
No, 1.
Yeah.
Do you want to be on 2?
I mean, I don't know. Didn't we have an open music thing we talked about?
Yeah, right here.
Welcome to the show, officially, everybody. I'm Adam Gaynor, and this is Creationville. Hey, Randy. Welcome to the show. Randy Cook, my
Thank you. Hi.
My sidekick, my partner in life. Not in marriage, but in life.
When you say sidekick, it sounds like you're saying my psychic. Every time to me.
So he's
and I can be.
Wait, are you saying I'm your sidekick or your psychic?
Psychic. I would rather be your psychic.
Wait, aren't you my psychic?
I am.
Wait, what do you think I'm saying? Okay, sorry, that could have gone on forever because I was pretending.
Don't make me play tangent music.
I was pretending I was saying psychic when you thought I was saying sidekick. Whatever he is, he's irreplaceable. By the way, for those of you who haven't tuned in for the last 197 episodes, Randy's played with such people as Kobe Colet's mom, Mick Jagger, Ringo Starr. He did The Voice, High School Musical. He's basically played with everybody in Hollywood, including me.
Yes, I have played with you.
Unbelievable days.
In the studio. And did we ever do anything live?
No.
No.
But we will.
Let's keep it that way.
We're going to do like a podcast tour.
Yeah.
Literally a podcast tour. I'm going to just see what's going on here because, man, this is very exciting.
It's great.
I'm a little confused. That wasn't the show open music. That's Byron's open music.
That is Byron music.
So where was the show open music that we talked about?
We played, it was the...
This is the worst show ever. I'm going to need some new music. Do the original show open music.
This is the... See, this is the one I really like.
Okay, let's just go into this.
Oh,
I want to get right to the show.
Do it.
Super important.
Do it.
So we have an amazing guest. By the way, for those of you watching, I apologize because we're like a bunch of chimpanzees in an office and we're pushing buttons and trying to figure out what we're doing here. But our first guest is really, really pretty amazing. This is kind of part of Inside Hollywood. These are the people you want to talk to. Maybe you'll give us some gossip. Maybe you won't.
Yep.
But I want to say that my first guest today, our first guest, Randy, started life, did his own thing, probably played some sports. We're going to have to find out. But went to school and studied biology. The guy studied you got your chromosomes.
It's over my head.
Endoplasmic reticulum.
Way over my head.
Right? Look, our guest is impressed. I don't even have that in my notes.
Yeah.
I remember from 4th grade. which I don't remember anything today, but fourth grade, I remember everything. This guy, he's a guy, went to college. He got his biology degree, Morehead State, home of Phil Simms, New York Giants fan. I don't care if you're not at home, don't write letters.
Yeah.
All teams are great. Then he continued his studies at the University of Kentucky. Go Wildcats. I am a fan of the basketball program.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, that is so good.
Thank you so much. He also, this guy, wanted to become,
Love that.
I think that was the opening of the show music. He wanted to be a pharmacist, right? And then literally one day he goes to school, literally he took his little knapsack, he took his pencil case, made his bed, went to the first class and said, you know what?
I'm out.
I'm coming home.
I'm out.
I'm literally coming home. That was close to my college career, but we'll get into that later. And he's like, what am I going to do with my life? I'm just going to run Hollywood. I'm going to just be part of Hollywood. I don't know if that's what he said. We'll ask him. But I have a feeling he's just like, I'm going to do something else. This guy's an Emmy Award winning, I lied. He's an Emmy and Oscar coverage correspondent.
Right.
What's better?
Which, by the way, has nothing to do with pharmaceutical,
we're done. Yeah.
like pharmacy stuff, pharmaceuticals, which is amazing that you're on bank one night.
I know.
You know, see?
So
it's anticlimactic.
Listen, so what I was trying to say is he's an Emmy and Oscar coverage correspondent for The Hollywood Reporter.
Right.
He's earned the National Arts and Entertainment Journalism Award. This guy's a member of the Society of Lyricists and Composers for his work with Mr. Michael Fassbender. For the song Michael sings in Polish in X-Men Apocalypse, which we're going to follow up on as well.
Brilliant.
He's written an X-Men spin-off screenplay that was touted by Entertainment Weekly and Vice, stating Cookie, that it was one of the best things ever written for X-Men, specifically more than the last two franchises they did for real in print. It's in print, I can prove it. And I would like to give a warm welcome, a real welcome, a Randy hits the right button welcome to, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Byron Burton.
Hey, thank you guys.
Byron.
Thanks for that clap.
Yeah, it's a big
You're
clap.
not going to get, you need him to follow you around to all your meetings and have him do that.
He's a great pitch
Just
man.
before you walk in the room.
Byron's my guy. I have known Byron, how long? We've known each other for like
many months.
397 carpets.
Yes.
Maybe 2. We've known each other from a few carpets.
Yeah.
But we just saw each other a few months ago.
Yeah, it was great.
The Hollywood. I mean, I feel like that's an exaggeration. It was good.
The vibe was good. I was paid well. It was
Actually,
a great
I was
night.
really happy to see you too. Anybody that knows me, I don't know if he knew my name or he was reminded, but anybody who goes, Adam, it's good to see you. That's my guy, Byron. You know, he's the best. I love you, Byron. So thanks for that.
Thanks for coming here.
He was at,
Amazing.
It's been great. I love the studio.
He's super busy.
Yeah.
Byron, literally, if you stole, which I'm trying to, if you steal Byron's phone, which we'll work on, you know, to halfway through the thing, he's got a Hollywood Rolodex.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, I'm going to confirm this right now. He does or does not have a timeshare with Chris Martin of Coldplay.
No.
Okay, so that's a no.
See, I said yes. Okay.
I said yes too.
All right.
You and Tim Allen designed the fence in that show. Remember that fence? In that,
Home Improvement.
in
Yeah,
Home
with
Improvement.
Wilson.
You guys.
I was 6.
You were 6? And you were a lead carpenter? Is it CBS? NBC? CBS?
I was understudy.
Yeah, he was an apprentice for that show. And that's true. True or false?
Very true.
Yeah, wow, he's actually admitting to lies now. This is what we get people to do.
7 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, you know what I didn't do? I'm so embarrassed.
Are you kidding me right now?
I did not take my synchronization clock and put it on the screensaver save. On the screensaver save. Do you have any interlude music while I do that?
Yeah.
And maybe you can give a little story, Randy. What story do you have for us today? Hey, where did you grow up, Byron? Tell me something about growing up. Where'd you grow up? Kentucky?
I grew up in Morehead, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Small town. We have a college there. My grandparents did not have running water on their property. They drank out of a well in the 90s.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Very strange.
In the 90s.
In the 90s.
Not the 1890s.
No, the 1990s.
The
Yeah.
1990s.
They drank from a well, and I would draw the water with grandma because that was my babysitting before I got into kindergarten.
Wow, that's amazing.
There's nothing more humbling than growing up pumping your own water.
Well,
No, actually, there was no pump. You had to. There's a bucket or a pail, as they call it.
No.
You lowered it about 40 feet, till it submerged in the water, and then you pulled it up.
Okay, see, I pictured what Adam said.
Sure.
Because that's those. I actually, when I was a kid, we had a cottage, and in our cottage we had a well, but you had to, manually, crank this pump thing to get.
Did you have to
like Quasimodo, Hunchback of Notre Dame, French Quarter?
Did you have to boil the water?
They did not. No, it ran through the stream.
You must never get sick.
Purity.
You must have
I didn't drink that stuff very often.
Yeah.
I drank some of it, but
I'd be a little nervous.
It tasted okay.
Your family must never got sick.
They're saying now that well water leads to Parkinson's, actually.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
That's
isn't that great?
I
didn't have that much, trust me.
I can't even do a lot of Parkinson's jokes because that was my
well, Rush Limbaugh could.
Yeah.
Our Presidential Medal of Freedom
it's
recipient.
True. He was bad. That was a bad situation. So you've accomplished a lot, vast amount, I think, in your Hollywood experience here. You did. Do you have a favorite? So like you've done screenplays, you've done music, you've done awards, carpets, all that stuff. Do you have a favorite media that you just can't live without? Like you're stranded on a little desert island, and then God says, "Hey, listen, one thing on this island." Is there something you just your favorite thing you love to do?
I feel like writing is what I love.
Yeah, nice.
But if I was on an island, I don't think I would get much enjoyment from writing. I would take the iPod. I'd
Really?
kind of zone
Not
out
the
on
pencil
music.
and pad.
No, because there's part of the reward of writing is getting that feedback, feeding your ego, having something speak to other people, and find that commonality between your art and their interpretation of it.
I usually write at home so that the next day I can read it and remember that I haven't lost my mind. So it reminds me.
Keep it up.
That I know who I am, because I think one day it might all. Byron's giving me the weird look. I have to move on with the next question.
No, is he vibing you?
Yeah, I think he's vibing me, but not in a good way, in a bad vibe way.
I'm absorbing.
I'm vibing
Thank
you.
Thank you, Byron. So are you a bit like me where you really love to enjoy all kinds of processes? Because I feel like some people, you're a hockey player. Some people you want to have to write. By the way, I love writing too. I think writing is such a great thing. I think though, I want to get back to that desert island. Do you have a tangent? I think on that desert island, to me, don't you want to just kind of let your feelings go? Don't you want to kind of just get your thoughts out? Is the iPod going to be better? Maybe.
Sure, you can be listening to John Powell, John Williams, Hans Zimmer,
Yeah, you got a lot to do on that.
You have instrumental stuff
you
that
company.
helps you imagine.
I think I'm mentally distressed where I want to just keep talking to myself.
Okay.
You understand?
Sure.
That's what I do pretty much.
A little
when
neuroses?
Yeah, when he's not. Oh, a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another show.
Sure.
We'll do the whole neuroses show. So you dabble in a whole bunch of things.
Absolutely.
You like to do pretty much writing, music we talked about, do the red carpet stuff. What got you so interested in pursuing multiple medias? Like, is it just, you just want to keep just exploring and being that dude? We talk to our audience a lot about you may be an accountant. The whole show is not just for people in Hollywood. It's for people that aspire to be in Hollywood, people that are at home saying, hey man, I got a day job. I can't find that 15 minutes a day to write, which I encourage people to try to get their families to support them and get that 15 minutes a day to practice, to write, to paint, whatever you want to do. So what keeps you driven? What's like the fuel that gets you excited to go into all these different worlds?
I was always very imaginative growing up. It just was not told to me as a possible career path. Business person, healthcare professional, teacher. Sure. That's all you're told in Kentucky, especially. Sure. But no, I was passionate about it. So as I went up this path in life, I was really good at science. I'm like, I'll do something with medicine. And I was an athlete. Distant cousins to Larry Bird up in French Lick.
No way.
I've got a couple signed shirts with him.
I saw the resemblance.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's pretty cool. That is cool.
Grandma gave me those.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got my degree and I was starting to write songs in 2010. I got a piano and I started learning from YouTube. So I started with songwriting first. And after I got my degree, went to pharmacy school for a day, said, no, this isn't for me. I left.
Literally, let's go back to that. You went to pharmacy, because a lot of people don't understand. You packed up the Winnebago? What was it? The Winnebago?
It was a Ford Fusion.
Same
blue.
thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. I had a Chevelle Malibu, which we won't talk about. I crashed that the very first week. Someone rear-ended me, and don't make a joke, Randy. Someone rear-ended my car, my automobile. And I, for the whole year, it's a sad story, Byron.
It was a great noise.
Just because Randy plays a funny sound doesn't mean my story's funny. So but let's get back to you. So you got the Winnebago, which is the Ford Winnebago Chevelle, whatever. Pack it up. Bye, mom and dad, parents.
Yeah, an hour away.
Oh, that's great. And then we unpack the room.
Yeah.
Per se. And maybe do
Pay the year's lease.
Yeah. Pay the year. Oh God, no.
Yeah, that was
year's
rough.
tuition, the whole thing.
$500 deposit. I paid for my white coat. I never got it.
You got? Oh my God! Don't you get to get the white coat?
I wish I would have gone back to get it.
Gotta get
I
the
left
white
before
coat.
they handed them out. I left after one day.
Randy writes incredible letters. Would you write
I
the
think
University
we
of
need
Kentucky
to get him a white coat.
Yeah. If I would have known that, I literally would have had a white coat.
I'm a letter writer.
So we get the Winnebago unpacked. We're in the room. We pay the money. And then how many days are you in that room before we go to the first class?
The night before, yeah, pretty much.
God, this is
wow, that's amazing.
You wake up. You go. You put your pen. You put your.
I actually was up late gambling in Moorhead the night before, so I was winning money.
So he was at his old school.
I was at my old home.
His old alumni, and then he's gambling, not the tuition away, but just a little pocket money.
I was winning and gambling.
Winning is the key. Winning.
So I got
if you're going to gamble, win.
I got in bed at like 3, and then I was up at 6 to drive.
That might have been. Do you think that's part of the problem? Like you had a 3-hour nap making a big decision.
No, it's true. Like
Byron,
I was in a bad place.
Maybe a nap. Maybe a nap would have been good before we said no more. I mean, by the way, I think you made the right choice.
I left midday. And I went to nap, and then I was just like, I'm done.
That's incredible. How many classes? 1, 2.
Just like an introductory lecture. Like, I was out. I bought a milk and a turkey sandwich, and I left. And I ate it at the apartment. I went to bed, and I said, I'm done.
I'd love that to be your. See, had you not gone to Moorhead State, that'd be the most incredible. That's your college experience because it's literally an hour. But you had a real college experience.
4 years. Yeah,
4 years. Okay, so that's fine. So you come out to LA. You're doing the carpets. You have any kind of. So you're doing your writing. You did your music first. Give me the succession, the 30-second
music
succession.
first, picked up the Screenwriter's Bible, a couple other great books, studying the craft.
Is that a recommendation for our audience? We'd like to encourage people who want to write. What led you to getting some knowledge in the writing biz?
It was at Barnes & Noble.
What's it called?
It's called The Screenwriter's Bible by Dave Trottier, I believe.
There you go.
Dave, you're welcome. I mean, there's many other more famous books in writing, which I've dabbled in.
Don't be rude to Dave.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
His has been published many times.
Don't you think it's weird that you said, Dave, you gave him a prop and you said, there's a lot better? Like,
he's such a you-know-what breaker.
There are better books in terms of
other books,
knowledge
Byron.
or in terms of...
How do you do these carpets? There are other books. There are different books to study.
I thought his book was amazing.
Me too. And
just because it's 9.8 doesn't mean that a 10's not better.
Right.
I always encourage people to try harder too.
Batman Begins is better than The Dark Knight.
I don't know the succession.
I said that once in DC headquarters, and a man stood up from the cubicle space and he said, "Yes, sir."
Wow.
And that was interesting.
For $50, which Randy will pay you, what's the succession? Sorry, all the Batman movies.
Okay, 89's Tim Burton Batman. DeVito, Pfeiffer, Batman Returns. Kilmer, Batman Forever. Clooney, Batman and Robin. The horrible Catwoman spinoff with Halle Berry. And then you have Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises. Woo! There you go.
That's when the applause.
Adam needs your PayPal, and Adam will take care of it.
That's unbelievable. Sure. Yeah, I'll give you $12 today, and then I got to get a job.
Sure. All right.
Okay, I appreciate that. So, all right. So we got the music. We got the writing. We got the book recommendation. Thank you, Dave, for sending me that
It's
copy.
a great book.
And no, I love that book. It's my favorite. Sorry. You're in such trouble with Dave's going to be like, "Dear Byron."
I'm still on the mailing list.
Are you on his Yelp page?
He got me something the other day. No.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to hashtag Dave on this.
You should.
We should. We're together.
We'll do it
when we blast the show out. So you graduate. All right. So we went from music, which he's done all these things successfully. It's a little crazy, to be honest with you, but I love that about you. Like, this is the part of the show where we say, you can do one thing. I always use Venus Williams as an example. She was an old associate. I name drop once in a while. So I knew her from the Miami socialite little event days. And I got mad at her when she was like focusing on her clothing line and she wasn't, playing as hard as she did, but she still was an amazing athlete. And then as I grew up and decided to have all these other interests, I'm like, you know what? People aren't always born to just do one freaking thing. You may want to try to, especially like you have all this talent in writing, music. You may want to dabble in, you're hosting amazingly, by the way, not even dabbling. You're doing that great. So I think, we're not defined by one thing. And as I also say, we may only have one go around on this planet, Randy.
Yep.
So why not just try to get in a little bit what you can, get in as much as you can.
I think the sort of prejudice against people doing multiple things has changed. In the 90s, when Mandy Moore was trying to act, it was like, everybody was very negative about it. She's doing great now. I think in general, people love to see that crossover now, whereas before it was very...
There's a stigma.
There was.
like Justin Timberlake, you can't go acting. You can't, like, the people would be mad. And it's cute, but that's how I kind of felt about Venus, because when you're the best at what you do, and then you say no, and that's like kind of a big moment. Like, she's one of the best athletes almost ever, and then she's like, I just want to try something else. I'm like, Venus, no.
Like Jordan and the White Sox, yeah.
Oh, wow. You got me very confused by the multiple references I was thinking of like some kind of a band, Jordan and the White Sox, but that was a Michael Jordan reference, and you're right. I mean, at least Bo Jackson did it right. Yeah. He did football and baseball equally well. We like to talk sports, Randy, on the show because
I love it.
Byron and I realized we both know everything about everything.
I love
about sports. So do you have anything for Byron that you'd like to add to the show today?
Well, I mean, I'm just always curious as to the steps that lead up to the first job in presenting, or the first job in getting the track on
foot in the door.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, is there something that you remember that was pivotal, for you that led to the opportunity that you had?
Getting the courage to make phone calls to people I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crucial. That's amazing.
And you get some people, and I aimed high. I started with Robert Downey Jr.'s agent and Gary Oldman's agent.
Wow.
From my office in Kentucky.
And you say what? What do you
I got the assistant at CAA, and they were like, oh, yeah, how long is it? And they weren't really going to look at it, which is policy.
Sure.
Was this for a screenplay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which has since become my best work, funny enough. Started in 2012. Hugh Jackman said it was great, and he was a big proponent of this and gave me some notes. And
is this the X-Men?
No, this is an original script.
For what, are we allowed to talk about
It's in the future. It's based on euthanasia. It's edgy. It's fun.
And when you say it's in the future, or is it going to be presented in the future, or the screenplay is
set
written
in
about
future.
the future?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to write that?
I wrote the first 25 pages in about 4 days, and then I finished it over the next 2 months. I've written several scripts in less than 3 weeks.
And how many pages approximately?
It's about 114.
Nice.
So it's about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Nice.
What is it? Did they say let's do a little lesson? Is it 60 seconds a page? Or?
Yeah, a minute a page.
A minute a page.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
That's good.
Cold calls, and you never know who's going to let you in. One of my biggest connections became a random Facebook ad.
What?
Yes, very true.
Tell me about that. Yeah, explain that.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine who I've now worked with several times, I added him on Facebook, and we had a back and forth conversation. I would get a message back like 3 days later, and then I would send something back. And finally one night, this individual was shopping on Amazon, so we actually got a good dialogue going.
Right,
and they took a chance and read my work, and they're like, oh, it's really good. Yeah, I'd love to read more.
Unbelievable.
And that's how it started.
So did you do the IMDb Pro to get all those agents'
I have
names?
that. They get my $118 a year, whatever it is. Yeah.
So was it? Nice. Am I totally beyond my brain? But when I moved out here, was it something like $5,000 a year, or am I just making up an incredibly weird
that's
number?
more than it's ever been.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't even turn my phone off today. I love I've not gotten back into the show.
We're in the
for
groove.
3
That's
months.
why.
Yeah.
That's why.
I literally have not turned my phone off. Did you hear R2D2?
I did.
That was the happy voice telling me, hey, you have a text message.
Okay.
It's my first time doing this, Although it seems that way. By the way, better than my phone than yours, Byron, because I would have been so angry.
I know. It would have been distasteful.
So let me ask you this. So you did was it IMDb Pro when you were back in the Kentucky?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good dive. I kind of figured that, because to me, that's like the bet. Now, that's a great tool, but you also have to be able to utilize the tool, because if you start randomly calling agents and people, like, you're going to get yourself killed in Hollywood, and people are going to get mad at you. But you did it the right way. Like, you figured out a way to kind of sweeten people up and kind of warm them up, and probably not trample on people. But what a great tool.
I've had some great cold reads where people didn't want the release or whatever. It's just whatever day you catch somebody on what mood they're in. It really is. It's very fickle in a good way.
One of my secrets was to find the assistants and work on the assistants, because if you can get an assistant to be your best friend, and if you do good work and you're like, look, I understand you can't get your boss on the phone, but here's what I'd like to do. And I'll just say Maureen was her name.
Sure.
So Maureen, I'm going to send you a video. I'm going to send you a show. If you love it and you think your guy loves it, show it to him. If you don't love it, don't show it to him. And if you're confident in your work, and Maureen will take the risk. By the way, if you sweet talk enough, Maureen by the way, call Maureen. She'll pick up the phone.
I call her Mo.
Yeah, Mo, little Momo. But that's kind of an idea. You go to the assistants, try to get in any way.
Some just don't have, from the word hello, you just know it's not going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for sure. So your advice to other people trying out there, because we do give some advice to the global community, especially today, Hamburg, Germany is tuning in.
And Poughkeepsie.
I thought that was Bank 1. What happened?
I put you here.
I literally just looked at the bank list. 14. Did you change it within 40 seconds?
It was about a minute ago.
Yeah. Wow. I just really looked. I was ready to pounce. So when I said Hamburg, Germany, yeah, they're listening. I'm just so upset that I can't get this right. First time showrunner. So anyway, so for the advice, I want to give some advice. I want some crazy carpet stories in a second.
Sure.
Because I need those. And then we got the advice of cold calling. We got the advice of trying an assistant. These are the keys when everybody at home is creating.
Sure.
Music, film, videos. It's the next step is the step that is literally the bridge between success and madness, right? Like, what do you do?
It's intangible sometimes.
You could be in the right place at the right time. Yeah. So do you have advice for someone who's creating, whether they're writing a screenplay, whether they have a piece of music that's heard? I know it goes project by project, but basically it's just trying to build relationships.
Validity, yeah.
Tell me about it.
Contest, for one.
Yeah.
If you can say I placed in the top 10% or I was the winner of this, that's going to build your validity. Or if you work for somebody, like say, oh, I work for Oscar winner so-and-so as an assistant, that gets you another way in. If you're way far away and you can't do that, just work on making your art as good as it can be. Yeah. Get that feedback. Don't go off early, because a lot of people are going to be very discerning when they look at your work.
Sure, sure.
If you're writing, especially a script, it's not the best trick for everything, but a lot of Martin Scorsese films, they always start with voiceover. That's sort of a cheap way to get some pizzazz, some personality, when by page 2, they're like, huh, I like the vibe here.
Right.
So that is something someone could potentially employ
That's amazing.
To break through.
Yeah. I think it's super important that people out there have, I think that's the desperate struggle that Hollywood can become. It feels so, people don't have a clue. Like there's somebody, there might be somebody in Kansas watching us. Maybe the Wildcat community might be watching, and like they don't know what to do. Like you're sitting in a bunker. Like I was in South Florida, trying to become a musician in a big band or something, and I'm in a condo. You know, grandparents' old condo, by the way. Leo and Renee, God bless you. And just struggling and trying to figure it out. So the only thing I thought about was I got to put myself in some kind of a position where I could be around the industry. So I took a job answering phones in one of the biggest recording studios in South Florida, just so I could be around super successful people. It's like the mailroom theory. Sure. It's like the intern theory. Sure. It's the assistance theory. So you just got to reach out. You got to stay super tenacious, is a word I use all the time. Don't get discouraged.
When did you come to LA?
So I came for the recording session of X-Men Apocalypse in March of 2016. And then after the film was released, I moved the beginning of 2017 here. And
did you move because you felt like there were more opportunities, or you felt, you know, did you have to? Was there a certain work thing that
it felt right because I had a big credit.
Right.
I could get into the Society of Lyricists and Composers. So I moved.
This is our next guest. I had it on silent and everything. By the way, oh, it's coming through my computer.
Oh wow!
Do you know that I've turned this off, and then when I updated my software, I might have to edit this section out because I had a lot of things to ask you at the end. And it's Tina Guo. It's one of our dear good friends who's coming on the show.
That's great.
Yeah, what a weird. I'm having a really weird existence. Last show was like this too, by the way, in case you're tuning in. Hopefully she calls the other names on the list because she's probably struggling to find parking. Wow, sorry, Tina, in advance if you're watching the show. Segue, and I'd like you to tell me about your new site, awardsfocus.com. Tell me a little bit about what's going on with that, who are you working with it on, and what's it about?
Sure. So Awards Focus, I started with John Ottman, who is a composer, editor, producer. He won the Oscar for Bohemian Rhapsody.
Amazing.
Yeah, and we'd worked together on X-Men Apocalypse. I wrote the lyrics and the melody for the song, and he orchestrated it.
Sure.
So long-term relationship there. My friend Patrick, who I met on a flight back to Kentucky, he's an incredible finance guy. He's a producer and an actor as well.
Amazing.
And then we have a great team with us. The guy that designed all the Star Wars and Avengers posters, Paul Shipper, designed the site.
Wow, dude.
David Dirks, who's the vice president of ASIFA, which is the Animation Guild.
Yeah.
He runs the Annies. He's one of our contributors for animation and a partner with us. It's really incredible.
It's a little ridiculous. And what is the site going to do for people? What's the purpose of it?
Heavily focused on awards coverage, but also just all film and television, and doing in-depth interviews, the kind of stuff that we think people really want to see.
Yeah, a little behind the scenes, a little off the beaten path, kind of
absolutely
behind the filmmaking and the creative process-ish.
Exactly.
Is that exactly?
Yeah. I mean, we covered 10 Oscar nominees for this year. One of them ended up winning the score award. Hildur Gudendauer, I believe is how you say it.
She was amazing.
She's great.
Amazing. That was the Joker, right?
I wrote for Hollywood Reporter, for her, for Emmy, and Oscars also. So
she's such a cool lady. I'm sorry. She won the Golden Globe as well, right?
She did, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so proud of her. Like, what a great story.
She's Chernobyl.
So super good. Humble, and she won the best, I think, original score. Right?
Yeah.
So I want to go over some social media for you. What do you got social media-wise?
Byron S. Burton at Twitter and Instagram, and then at Awards Focus is the page for Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the above.
Love it. And we follow you at Byron S. Burton?
Yeah, that'd be great. And happy to answer questions for people trying to break in.
Dude, that is very nice. Right now, if you get more than 50 things, it's not my fault. If you get 50 inquiries.
I welcome them. Just be patient.
At the end of the...
Yes.
No, I know that. It's tough. I was like the dude on our website back in the back in the 90s that was trying to write every fan back. Like I was the dude that literally would try to write everybody.
I'm still that guy. I don't know why. I have a problem.
Because we're good people. We're trying to help people.
Well, someone writes to you and they took the time. I feel like just to hit a like or... I don't know. I just think if you took the time to write, then I should take the time.
Did you ever read those books like Goosebumps where you get to a page that says if you want this to happen, you turn to this page. If you want this to happen, you turn to a different page? So there's a video game app I was recruited to write for where you got to choose your own adventures and you would write branching stories. And I found out there was a message board and I went on there and there was like 250 things.
Sure.
And so I was going in there and replying to every one of them. And the demographic was like 13 to 30 Asian girls.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
That's what the developers told me. And then some of them were like, why are there no nude scenes? And I'm like, this is a family-friendly game. Like some of the strangest things.
That's so crazy.
He shouldn't have followed for or one of them was they didn't like the romantic storyline between the lion tamer and the girl. They wanted her to be with the magician.
So give me 2 red carpet stories, crazy people that you interviewed. Crazy story, something amazing that happened.
Jurassic World.
Oh, God, here we go.
The movie was over an hour late to start, and Jeff Goldblum comes trotting down the line.
Character.
And he comes up to me, and I said, hey, Jeff, Byron Burton, Hollywood Reporter. He goes, Hollywood Reporter, yes,
voice.
of course. I noticed those blue suit, those glorious chompers. Look at those teeth. He's pointing at his wife. He's like, look at those teeth. Oh, they're magnificent. And I was like...
Oh, he's doing impressions, by the very well. It's a good Jeff Goldblum.
So I said, thanks, Jeff. Talk about bringing your character back and focusing on the Michael Crichton dialogue. And he gave me a very professional answer. And then the next guy goes, hey, we're with Fox. What do you think the dinosaurs are trying to say? And he goes, they're like, help me, Jeff.
What?
Help me grow. Very strange, but fun.
The weirdest dude ever. Very entertaining. Amazing pianist, which I don't know if people... Do you know that?
Mildred Stiltzner Orchestra.
He's literally like a crazy... Do you know that about Jeff?
No.
Yeah, he's like literally a crazy, crazy pianist guy. Coolest dude, weird as hell. But he's interesting. You always watch him. You want to watch him.
Is that the London? No. It's some hotel.
I don't know.
He plays here in Hollywood. I'm going to do both stories on Jeff. I went to see Jeff a year ago at that thing.
Yeah.
And he brings up a piece of paper and reads stories off. He said, no, there's a thing called the Jeff Goldblum sex party.
Oh, God.
Come dressed as either Jeff Goldblum
or a bunny rabbit
or a T-Rex.
Oh, no.
Shower beforehand.
What?
Yeah, it said shower beforehand.
That's probably Jeff.
DDT only, drugs and disease free.
Oh, my God.
And he said, must be able to snarl on command.
Did he say that?
He said all that on stage. I have it on my phone.
Tell me you went to the party.
No.
And which one did you pick?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what would you have picked?
I would have done Jeff.
I would have done the T-Rex.
I would have went T-Rex.
I would be too sweaty.
T-Rex.
I would go T-Rex.
We have to do T-Rex. I wanted to say thank you so much, dude.
Thank you.
This has been Byron S. Burton or just Byron Burton? What do you
Byron
know?
Burton.
Yeah, Byron Burton's what I like too. Thank you so much for Byron Burton being on the show. Randy Cook, as always, best sidekick ever.
Thank you.
Musical director ever. Played with such people as
That applause is for me, by the way.
That was a weird. You notice he got the applause, but nobody else.
Yeah,
he always does that.
Self-serving.
Just remember, everybody, keep your horsey blinders on. Look straight ahead. Don't worry about the noise outside. It's your world. Stay in your own lane. I'm Adam Gaynor. We are in Hollywood. That's showbiz, and this is Creationville. We'll see you next time.
Byron Burton is standing on the red carpet, writing screenplays for Hollywood and Hollywood. Awards focuses covering the red carpet. Byron Burton is so Hollywood, Hollywood.
Let's have one shaking hands. Let's have one shaking hands. One more. Still hold it. That's it. Well, you moved on that. Let's have one more. It's fine. Now let's have one shaking hands. Let's have one shaking hands. One more. Hold it. One more. You moved on that one. Let's have one more, please.